All right, so I've just been thinking about this whole releasing process that we've been working on, whether you've been working at releasing your negative thoughts or emotions, or you're releasing tension in the body through embodiment practices like yoga or Tai Chi and things, or you're just, trying to release the negative beliefs that you might have or the internal blockages that we face. And, this is kind of like generally what brings people to the releasing school, let's say, this process that we're learning, this path that we're on, where we understand through direct experience that this skill of releasing at whatever level that we're doing it and practicing it has a lot of benefit. And as I have been going through the process myself for quite some time, always my focus seems to change from, one particular area of focus or another. And lately, in the last few years especially, it's been more focused on the body and allowing the releases to transform the tissues to create connection in the connective tissue, the fascia and tendons and ligaments and all this, and to work at building the container of the body. And it was just occurring to me earlier today, so I wanted to make this video to share about it, how the psychology and the physiology are so interconnected, and how I can recall, what it feels like to feel like I really need something badly and I don't have it. And like I feel this lack and this sort of ennui or frustration. And so when I tune into that feeling, when I recall it, I can remember where it's kind of located in the body, more centrally located in the lower abdomen, let's say, and even down into the legs. So what that's doing on a physiological level, just, from what we understand about the tissues and things, is the muscles are contracting, right? Every time we're holding on, however we're holding on, there's muscle contraction. And when there's muscle contraction, it makes the tissues short, right? Because there's tissues connected to the muscles themselves. When the muscles contract, they become shorter. And so what tends to happen is the tissue that connected those becomes slack in there, creates space, but it's not a space that can be filled. It's a space that actually leaks energy. It leaks this sense of fullness, fulfillment, right? What's the opposite of need? What's the opposite of neediness, right? It's a sense of fulfillment. I am enough. I have enough. Things are good, all this kind of thing. Well, we don't often realize until we're, down this road a ways that how connected these things are. It's like no matter what's going on externally, no matter what kind of amazingness and fullness I create on the external world, which includes my relationships, my work life, my purpose, my family, all this kind of stuff. No matter what, if I don't have that container built, then that fulfillment ends up just leaking out. Like I can feel fulfilled. It's not like I'm incapable of experiencing that, but it tends to be fleeting. Have you ever noticed this? Like the joy, the fulfillment, the enrichment in life, it peaks and then it valleys. The reason why largely that is because we're dealing with a leaky container. And so the leaky container is literally the tissues. When they're bound up like this from whatever tension we're holding, it's ultimately going to leak out. Anything we put into the sieve is eventually going to leak out the sieve. So as we develop the deeper level of really getting the mind's, feeling sense, or consciousness into and saturating within the tissues and the joints and things, it really starts to transform how the body connects up, and the tissues seem to weave together in a way that is almost elastic and connective. You can feel the connection, and you begin to feel connections in places, for instance, myself, like I started looking at the shape of the pelvis and the bones and how they connect and all the tendons and things. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, there's large tendons here. There's connections. There's bones that seem to be fused together, but they were once two things. And it seems to me that there's got to be immense forces that my pelvis is under, the leg joints, the sacrum holding and supporting up the spine, like crazy forces. So I started investigating a little bit. Turns out there's thousands of pounds per square inch of force tying the body together here, but are we aware of it? Do you feel that your body is bound together by cables which are under thousands of pounds per square inch of pressure and tension? Are you aware that that's the case? Because for a long time I wasn't. And then suddenly, not so suddenly, due to the training and over the years and such, and developing more and more of the inner awareness, these things start to come to light, come to the surface. Well, it's not so much that they come to the surface, but our awareness goes deeper than the surface. So there's a profound, benefit to this path that just continues to arch and arch and arch. The trajectory goes, as far as I can see, in that same direction. And what I've noticed is a lot of times people will look at this releasing in whatever form as just like a maintenance thing. Well, like, I don't feel good, so let me do this practice. I don't feel good, let me go to yoga. Or I don't feel good, let me do some mental unwinding or letting go and things like that. But it's really, in my experience, more about developing it as a habit and incorporating it into your being so that you're always looking for more and more profound ways of releasing. And in this way, it never becomes boring. It's always a challenge, but a challenge that provides benefits consistently and continuously along the way. I guess that's mainly what I wanted to talk about in this little tidbit of a video. If you like these kinds of things, man, subscribe, hit that bell. It really helps us grow, and appreciate you for watching nonetheless. Looking forward to connecting on another one of these. Much love. Enjoy releasing and keep stitching that body together. Build a container so that when you access these states and qualities through your life experience, through the inner state that you're cultivating, you can actually grow and maintain and cultivate so that they become part of who you are. All right. Much love.